have been missed, as I know you guys have missed me. So thank you for joining. If you are interested in booking with me, I am over at blackspectrumnetwork.com. You can go to blackspectrumnetwork.com/Soleil, SOLE. If you want to leave a love offering, just go ahead and do so at either the PayPal or the Cash App that's circulating. For those of you guys who don't know who I am, hi, I'm Mambo Soleil. I am one of the priestesses over at Black Spectrum Network. I'm the goddaughter of Huganzo. I'm the founder and facilitator of the Charm School Mentorship, as well as the facilitator of the Vision of Dawn Tour Discord group, which I meant to update you guys about last time, yesterday, but there was so much coming up that it skipped my mind. So hopefully I will remember to do that today. But let's go ahead and get straight into it. Same thing, I always start every celebrity reading the same way. What do we need to learn about the situation as collective? Ancestors, angels, master spirits, walk with me. What can we learn from the lawsuits and surrounding situation as a collective? What can we walk away from with this situation knowing that will benefit us so that this is not just idle gossip? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Hey Amber, hey Tabasi, hey Tori, hey Anita. Hey beautiful surprise. For those of you who are in the Discord, if you wouldn't mind tagging folks, letting them know to come on in the room, that would be really great and really helpful. Peace is a strategy. That's the lesson we can learn. It's really important to move in ways that are authentic to you, that are strategic to you, that are going to bring stability and peace to your family, your comfort, your legacy, your reputation, etc. Very first card we have is the Queen of Swords, right? And we know that the Queen of Swords is very strategic. She's very clever. She's good at protecting her heart and her emotions. She will use her sword if she needs to, but she's not gonna just, strike or do things for the sake of doing it. It's more about making sure that she's protected and that her honor and her word is guarded, right? So this was a strategy for Cassie. I don't get the impression that she ever really wanted to go to trial. So this settlement ends up working best in her favor. Another thing about the Queen of Swords is that she's going to do what she knows is right, even if other people attack her for it, right? Of all the queens, Queen of Swords is understood as being the most masculine and the quote unquote bitchiest. So Cassie knew that in doing the settlement, that it was going to bring negative attention. It was going to cause people to call her out of her name. She doesn't care. Because again, she's trying to guard and protect herself. Her protection is her top priority. Cassie is very much in love. Alex Fine is not going anywhere. She has the love and the admiration that she wants in a partner. So this is not just about protecting herself. This is about protecting her knight. This is about protecting her husband and her protector as well, right? She also just really wants to move forward from this, whatever moving forward from this looks like for her. A lot was taken from her, and she really wants to be able to leave this behind, go into her future with excitement, right? There was a part of her that started to just feel really down about life. So even though she filed the lawsuit, it's not like she really wanted to drag all this up. She didn't really want to go through a big public battle. She really wanted to move forward. This is something that she did to protect her legacy. This is very much, Cassie has tried really hard to work, but a lot of her opportunities have been blocked, right? And so this is about her being able to secure her future and the future of her children. So she made this decision in order to be able to take care of her family. She deeply wants peace. She wants to sleep. She wants rest. She wants restoration. She wants to be able to move beyond and past this. And honestly, maybe if this were a few years ago, she wouldn't have moved this way, but this is allowing her rebirth, and it's allowing her transformation. It's allowing her to stand in her power. So what I'm getting from this, what we can learn is that when it comes to protecting our reputation, when it comes to protecting our peace, we have to be willing to move in the way that feels most authentic to us, not move in the way that the public or the people around us believe we should move. It's really easy for folks to sit back on their couch and say that if they were Cassie, they would, but we don't know unless it's us. And another thing about the Queen of Swords is that she is about taking her circumstances and allowing them to make her better, not embittered. If Cassie were bitter, she would have gone through with the suit. But because she is trying to move on and heal and stand in the strength of the knowledge she's gained from her time in the industry, she just wants to sever ties. So that's what we can learn as a collective. We can learn to do the things that are necessary to protect ourselves and to not feel subject to the opinions of the world, of other people. Amber, if you have a question, type it out. A lot of y'all are saying I got a lot of questions, but I'm not seeing the questions be typed out. So go ahead and type out those questions. While you guys are typing out your questions, I'm going to go ahead and start with some of the questions that my client sent me, JL. One of the questions she has, and I think a lot of people have this question, is, you know, this was a civil suit and it has been settled, but people are curious as to whether or not Diddy is ever going to do jail time, if he's ever going to deal with any legal consequences for his actions. So that's a question that I'm going to go ahead and ask. Will Diddy ever have to do any jail time for either his violence against Cassie or violence against other people? Ancestors, angels, ascended masters, will Sean Diddy Combs ever have to deal with any jail time for a result of his actions? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Zahara, I got you next. That's a great question. I know more of you, we have 20 people in the room. I know someone of the 20 has questions. So if you have questions about this lawsuit settlement and the people involved, go ahead and ask them. I may switch decks after this one because this one is sticking together in a way that's frustrating for me. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. I see there will be times where he comes very close to dealing with a consequence, but Diddy has a lot of ties and a lot of favor. He has a lot of people that he has poured into over the years and poured into him, and they essentially, if they go to jail, if he goes to jail, they go to jail. So people are going to continue to pour into Diddy, water Diddy, take care of Diddy, and he's going to do vice versa in order to ensure his freedom. Diddy is the Queen of Swords as well. He's very strategic. He's very calculated. He's cunning and manipulative. So he's going to do everything he can to escape the clutches of the law. He really is. He's also very creative. We think about the men in the industry that cover for Diddy, but there are a lot of women who cover for Diddy as well. A lot of women who have been made rich by Diddy's wrongdoing. Again, those cups that he poured into, it's a lot of women in high stature and high regard that are covering up for him. If anything, Diddy may go into hiding, somewhat similar to what Russell Simmons did, but his period of hiding will be very short. He will escape somewhere for rest and recovery, but will come out of the woodworks when he feels it is safe. He's poured a lot of money into people. His money is tied up in a lot of things. Again, Two of Pentacles being a card of financial tightrope, a card of multiple streams of income. His money is dependent on a lot of other people. So there are people that are dependent on Diddy being a free man. Okay. And then we end with the Knight of Cups, again, another card of creativity. People need to have Diddy continuing to produce music. People need Diddy to continue to be a creative out in the world who is financially lucrative. So I don't see him doing jail time. I really don't. I don't see him doing jail time because there are too many people who benefit financially from him being free. That's just an unfortunate reality. I see some questions coming up now. Finally, this is the energy I like. Don't just come here and extract my labor. Participate. Help a sister out. Give me questions. Make it easier for me to engage. I love it. I love it. Amber and T. Allen are asking the same question, so I'm going to consolidate it into one. Is Quincy pulling away now that he knows about this situation and what is coming out? How is this impacting the relationship that Diddy has with his children? Is it impacting the relationship he has with his children? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. I do see Quincy is trying to pull away. He's not the only child that's trying to pull away, though. A couple of his children are figuring out what it looks like for them to separate themselves from Diddy at this time. They know that it's going to mean that they take a financial hit. But what they're hoping and they're dependent on is that their other relationships will supplement that. They know it's going to be a hard road ahead, but they're very concerned with their futures. A lot of concern with their futures. I'm going to be honest. They know who their father is. And some of them, I'm getting particularly the boy children, have either witnessed or participated in some of their father's poor behavior. So that's another part of the reason why they're trying to be really strategic about how they separate themselves at this time. They're thinking about what they can do so that they have victory in the situation, that they're not victimized by it. They fear being victimized by the rest of the public because of their father's actions. And they also fear being isolated, having their bags stopped, having their opportunities stopped. One of these male children is in a relationship. That girl is gonna stick around mostly because she's still young and she has a ride or die mentality, but he's also going to waste a lot of money trying to keep her silent too. So they have a lot of people pouring into them, checking in on them, asking about them. They care about those relationships and hope that those relationships will be sustained. They may also manipulate their way into some new connections. But yeah, they're thinking about what they need to release, what assets they need to release, what relationships they need to release. They're really concerned about reinvention. They know that they have to position themselves differently so that they don't lose out financially. They really are, they're going to ride with their father. They're going to ride with their father. But they are deeply concerned about the execution of their own goals and ambitions as well. Page of Cups is the abused child. It can be a child that has witnessed a lot of abuse, a lot of trauma, a lot of things that are beyond their scope. It's also a card of sacrifice, a card of the martyr. So they feel like they are suffering right now, absolutely. But they also just have their own trauma around them having witnessed stuff that they were far too young to witness. So that's how the children are being impacted. They have a lot of worry. They're not going to abandon their father, but they are worried about what they need to do strategically in order to protect their reputations. I want to know, so Diddy has recorded Cassie, allegedly. According to the lawsuit, a huge part of what was happening in these freak offs, that is just the gayest shit I've ever heard, a freak off. Like, I don't know, just calling it that is so cringy. But there are videos of Cassie. So I want to know where those videos are, because that's very unclear. She said that she thought she deleted them and that he would show them to her afterwards to intimidate her and just to let her know that she can't delete them. So I want to know what happened with those recordings and where those recordings are. That's my question. Ancestors, what can you tell us about the recordings of Diddy and Cassie's sexual encounters? What has Diddy done with them? Where are they? Who has witnessed these recordings? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. Cassie is still confused. She's still in the dark about where these recordings are. It is something that she spends a lot of time worried about, what is happening with her image engaged in sexual acts out in the world. We have the moon card, so they are hidden. He's done a lot to keep them covered. I would not be surprised with the moon card coming up. There may be some sort of black market exchange. We also have the Page of Pentacles. So he has been using these recordings allegedly for bartering. They are, oh, this is fucked up. This is fucked up. He has used these recordings to barter with other powerful men. He's used those recordings as a form of currency. So he has exchanged these videos with other people. He has used them to leverage folks. Sometimes it's for money with the Page of Pentacles, but sometimes it is to start new sexual encounters. He still uses these recordings. These are not recordings that he stopped using just because they aren't together anymore. And he often will still use them to just pleasure himself as well. So he has a collection of videos, not just of Cassie, of other people, and he uses them for his own sexual excitement. Oh, Lord. Let's see. What other questions do people have? Has Diddy done anything like this to other artists or women? Ancestors, has Diddy committed the same abuses that he committed against Cassie, against other women or other artists? Any wisdom shared is deeply appreciated. My spirits are like, yeah, duh. Like, there's evidence of that on the internet. But let's see what the cards have to say. Keep the questions coming, you guys. He needs mental help. He needs an ass whooping, allegedly. He needs to be stomped out, allegedly. Yes, yes. Diddy likes to humiliate women. He likes to humiliate the women that he has sexual relationship with. The group sex is not just about sex for him. It's about domination, humiliation, and control. And the beatings are about the same thing. So yes, he has done this to other women. He particularly chooses women who are vulnerable, right? Vulnerable in their career, vulnerable in their age, women who have been made to see him as some sort of beacon of hope, and they feel that this is some sort of sacrifice they need to make in order to be okay afterwards. They are sworn to secrecy. So for some of them, they'll never come forward. Some of these women will literally take this to the grave. This is a secret that they are very ashamed of. And it haunts them absolutely, but they'll never come forward. He is unafraid to, I mean, he absolutely uses his money to control. Absolutely uses his money to control. Even if it's not like him paying someone outright, he will block someone else's bag. He will fuck someone else's career up. He is very much unafraid to use his money and his power to get what he wants. He has a very big temper. There have been women who have been abused because he was angry about something else, right? That Knight of Swords energy. I'm mad. I'm rushing into a situation. I'm lashing out. I don't care who gets run over in terms of collateral damage. So there have been times where he's angry at a business decision or a man in his life, and then he'll turn around and beat the women. Or he's angry at a woman that he can't hit, so he'll turn around and beat them, right? Very much that I'm just going to run over other people kind of energy. He's coming up as the Queen of Swords. He's very emotionally abusive. And even though the hitting is brutal and bad, it's the mind control and the emotional manipulation and the verbal abuse primarily that hurts them the most. So yes, he has done this to other women. He's specifically done this to other young female artists who don't have a whole lot of connections. And he does it to manipulate them and to humiliate them. He has a humiliation kink. We've already talked about the voyeurism aspect, but there is definitely a humiliation kink. He likes humiliating young, beautiful women, allegedly.